I'm not afraid, so I got more fire. A veces quisiera quedarme calladito, tranquilito, mansito, apartadito, sin abrir el piquito. Pase lo que pase, no moverme un dedito, solo para que no digan aquí viene el cristianito. Hacer el papelito de que todo está bonito y no alarmarme ante lo corrupto e ilícito. Conformarme ante el sistema de este mundito y callar la verdad como si la verdad fuera un delito. No, yo pego el grito, póngase quien se oponga, y a quien le sirve el sombrerito que se lo ponga. I'm not afraid, so I got more fire. A veces quisiera quedarme calladito, tranquilito, mansito, apartadito, sin abrir el piquito. Pase lo que pase, no moverme un dedito, solo para que no digan aquí viene el cristianito. Hacer el papelito de que todo está bonito y no alarmarme ante lo corrupto e ilícito. Conformarme ante el sistema de este mundito y callar la verdad como si la verdad fuera un delito. No, yo pego el grito, póngase quien se oponga, y a quien le sirve el sombrerito que se lo ponga.
All right. I am still under the weather, so yeah, if anybody picks up on that, then you are not wrong. You're not mistaken. I am still battling a cold and allergies and all that good stuff, all that fun stuff. But I still wanted to attempt to hang out with you guys for a little bit before calling it a night. So for whoever does get a chance to pass by today, I do, appreciate any amount of viewership and support in advance. And again, I do apologize for sounding like a toad. I'm not a huge fan of my voice overall, but even more so when I can barely talk. So yeah. Yeah, man. No, trust me, that will never happen. And it's funny that you say that because I think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday, Mom was like, "Oh, you should get yourself checked out and make sure you don't have the you know what." And I'm like, even if I did, I'm gonna treat it like I've treated any other flu or cold I've ever had, period. But you know how parents were, they always mean well. Like when they truly love their children, they do generally mean well. And, they might not do the amount of research or investigating that some of us might do, right? So they'll just kind of want for you to do what they have been told is the best thing to do. So, but anyways, yeah, I don't think I'll be here for too long because I feel like talking right now. I'm straining my voice, just even trying to talk. So hopefully the microphone is picking up a high volume of my voice. That way I don't have to stress my vocal cords that much. But yeah, just, same thing that we did last time I was here. Gonna go through some of the daily entertainment music industry news, have a few good laughs here and there. And yeah, just kind of overall have a good time with you guys, whoever all is here. I know it's Friday night? No, Saturday night, my bad. Oh yeah, of course. And that's the way it's always going to be. Any attempt is always going to be kind of like a checkup of all right, now that we've worn them down even more, let's see how many are willing to just kind of bend the knee, if you will. So yeah, give me 1 second. Oops, I forgot to do something over here. No wonder. Okay, all right, well, this is the only part that before I had taken the huge hiatus that I took up until recently, that I need to get like back in the groove of like having everything set up before hitting start the stream or whatever. Because I remember like before I was like very on top of it. I would make sure everything was up and tabbed and everything, but y'all know what it is, man. One second. What the heck? Okay, I'll get that. Ooh. Okay. Okay. I'm taking a minute just to pull some of these. It's so hard to pick out articles because it's like technically I could open up a bunch of these tabs, but it's like everything's so stupid and so nonsensical that I hate the fact that here we go. Here's a good one. Oh my god. There's so many dumb stories that is like it's hard to pick which are the least dumb ones. Okay. Lord help me. God. I'm so sorry, y'all. I usually am a lot faster at finding and pulling up some of these articles, but this is another interesting one. Oh my goodness. What? Okay. This would be interesting. Okay. I've picked like 3 or 4 articles at this point, so who all is here? I know Beatrice is here, so obviously the red carpet has been rolled out to every single one of you guys as always. But if you're here, just say a quick hi or something, just so I know who all is here. Nice. Yeah, I mean that's always fun. But what's funny is yeah. I try really hard to be respectful when it comes to that kind of thing, because it's, you read into some of the beliefs here and there of different denominations or religions, Yeah, that twist. Yeah, that's something like that. I don't know if they've changed their beliefs over the years. I don't know if they believe the same things that they used to believe in a few years back. I remember there was like a South Park episode about the people that you're talking about, and it's one of the oddest, craziest episodes in South Park. And like you can't really leave it to South Park to like represent everybody's like core beliefs, because they've misconstrued a lot of things with like Christianity, and they kind of like bunch in Christianity with Catholicism, which is, they're not the same thing. They're two they're completely separate things altogether. Catholicism, they'll have like Jesus in there, right? But they practice so many things that are like biblically, they practice a lot of opposing things biblically, and it's just like, yeah. Serbian Capybara, what's going on, brother? God bless you. God bless every single one of you guys who was here. Whether you're here for a few minutes, for the entirety of the show, or for however long you're here, I appreciate you. And but yeah, so I don't know if the Mormon folk, still believe certain things. I would have to have like a dialogue or like a in-depth conversation with someone who's in that field of religion to see what's up to date, to see like what's the current status of their mindset, the train of thought, all that stuff. So amen. Amen, Serbian. So all right. So I'm gonna pull up the first news article, and just bear with me. I'm just bringing these up because they're funny to me or interesting or whatever. But as always, you're free to talk about whatever you want to talk about in the live chat area. Ask questions, talk about other topics. Bring up a topic of interest that might help or bless or inform the rest of the community at some point throughout the stream, right? And yeah, so let me bring up the first article. I find some of these articles so ridiculous, bro. It's crazy. Okay. The illiterate goat slaver. I like that. I like the sound of that. All right, so check this out. How Punjabi Canadian rapper Babulicious ended up performing at Zoran Mamdani's mayoral inauguration. I don't even know who's who. I'm assuming who's who. I'm assuming that's a rapper, but who knows? Maybe he's a rapper. But yeah, I'm going to place my bet on this guy. On January 1st, history was made in New York City, and Punjabi Canadian rapper Babulicious played a significant role. Zoran Mamdani, the city's first Muslim and Indian Uganda mayor, was sworn in on New Year's Day. He's New York City's 112th mayor. Babulicious, aka Babu Beard, closed out the ceremony with a reworked rendition of his 2022 song Gotti Red Challenger. In the 3 years since its release, it has garnered almost 30 million Spotify streams and 14 million views on YouTube. Yeah. I'm not even gonna play a song just in case. Yeah. I'm so sorry that I even brought this on with you guys. I just thought the whole, the whole fact that this happened at all was funny to me. Just the whole interaction altogether. We got the same third world problem. Listen to yeah. So okay, now that I just read some of that article, right, the millions of views or whatever, you know, I it's so easy nowadays, man. It's so easy. It's yo. When I really like look at some of these articles or some of this information that I read through, and I see some of these numbers of like millions or like billions of views or streams or whatever, I'm like, you know, there's so many shortcuts to garnering these types of like listen streams or like views or whatever. And if you're part of a record label, you know, it doesn't even take that much money to pay what do you call it, like freelancers to like boost up your views or Spotify streams or whatever. Hey Tracy, God bless you. God bless you. Thanks for being here. And so when I see like, oh, this artist has such and such amount of views or streams, I'm like, you know, paid for, paid for. And it bothers me sometimes because there's so much good, great, amazing talent out there, and it's never heard of because they don't have the amount of money to promote themselves the way that these record label artists duplicates do, right? And it bothers me because it's like I have heard and seen so many amazing artists, like actual legitimate, genuinely talented artists that perform better, sing better, rap better, and just overall are just better performers than a lot of these like mainstream artists or artists that are like pushed at the forefront, but you'll never ever hear of them because again, they don't get the exposure. They don't get nowhere near the exposure that some of these other record label artists have. So, and I think a really good example. Hey, what's going on, Brother Red? Thank you for at least stopping by and saying hi. I appreciate it. Genuinely do, as always. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Even if it's just to say hi, it means a lot. So, but yeah, like I don't know who all here remembers that old movie. I don't know if it was like in the 90s or early 2000s. It was like a documentary-ish type movie that this guy, I forget his name now, the guy who plays War Machine in the MCU movies. God, forget his name now. The one that Kevin Hart had on his talk show, and when he said his age, Kevin Hart was like, "Oh damn, Don Cheadle." He was in a movie years ago, and he was depicting a really amazing, great basketball player, like a street basketball player, who because of like drugs and bad influences, he never made it to the NBA, but they showcase like how great he was, how great he was known to be. And throughout the movie, you see him like doing these crazy things that no one else has done, right? Like for example, I think in one of the scenes, they were testing his hops, his vertical leap, right? And so they put like I don't know if it was like a $20 bill or like $100 bill on top of like the very top of the backboard. And, that they were just testing. They were just testing. No one really took it really serious. but they knew how good he was, so they were just like, you know, joking around, like, oh, let's see if he could grab this $100 bill from the top of the backboard. And boom, there he went, jumped, grabbed the $100 bill like it was nothing, effortlessly. You know what I mean? Effortlessly. So that, you know, that dude in real life had like hops, and you know, Don Cheadle representing or you know, acting out the character of that person, that athlete. Is like that movie is so good because it really does go to show you that sometimes you'll never get to see like true greatness or people at their height of their game or at their peak, not because they don't exist, but because for one reason or another, life circumstances, or you know, bad influences and just bad timing, whatever you want to call it, like it'll remove the opportunity for you to experience and see those individuals, those types of individuals that have greatness in them, but for one reason or another never get to showcase it really. And you'll just always hear about, oh, I knew so and so, and you know, he was better than Michael Jordan or this and that, but you know, they never get their shot or chance. And it's a sad story, but there's like a redemption arc towards the very end where he doesn't make it to the NBA, but he does end up, like, I think, opening some type of like foundation for like Captain Planet. I know, man, but you know what? Like, I hate it. I hate seeing that video of Don Cheadle and the Captain Planet thing. It looks so weird. Like, I would never, ever. I don't know why, but I feel like it should be like a white dude playing Captain Planet. So it just looks so wrong and so like incorrect and inaccurate when I see Don Cheadle in that video. I'm like, what the heck? Oh man, it's terrible, terrible. I mean, it's funny though, but mesmerized. Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know about that, but anyways, yeah, this article is just, yeah, I just thought it was funny. It's not to be taken serious right here. It's just, I just thought it was funny for a second. Now this article is interesting and hilarious at the same time too. So Atlanta rapper shot over $22,000 gold chain, police say. Miami, Florida. An Atlanta rapper is recovering after police say he was shot during an armed robbery over the weekend in South Florida. The big stage name, Lil Deco, was shopping Saturday afternoon at a Supreme clothing store in the city's Design District. I love that area. The Design District in Miami, that's where my brother and my sister and me went a few years back for like a one of those like siblings trip that we take, or we try to take on a yearly. And I love that area. Very nice, very, you know, high end, but at the same time like casual. When he was confronted by civil police, he knew from Atlanta. Where's the rest of it? Don't tell me that was it. Dude, is that all they're gonna say about that article? There was like nothing in there. Oh, there we go. Wait a second. Of course, why should there be like a paywall? Man, I'm gonna be so pissed. It's a paywall. Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna pay anything. Oh, hold on. Okay, never mind. Investigators said an argument broke out inside the store before one suspect walked up behind the rapper and ripped a gold chain valued at $22,000 from his neck. Police identified that suspect as Jamar McKay, 25 years old. Authorities said Lil Deco chased McKay out of the store, where another unidentified suspect ran up and shot him once in the stomach. A witness recorded cell phone video showing paramedics loading the injured rapper into an ambulance. He was taken to a local hospital where he remains hospitalized but is expected to recover. Court records show a judge noted the individuals involved are from Atlanta and have history of conflicts with one another. Investigators are still working to determine whether an ongoing dispute may have contributed to the shooting. Miami police said officers and the city's SWAT team later located multiple suspects hiding inside a home near the crime scene. McKay, along with Omarion Phillips, 20 years old, and Kevion Smith, 21 years old, were taken into custody. Authorities say Phillips and Smith were each charged with accessory after the fact. Smith also faces a charge of possession of a firearm or ammunition by a convicted felon. McKay was charged with armed robbery with a firearm or deadly weapon and resisting an officer without violence. During the search, investigators recovered the stolen gold chain. Oh, thank God. After all that, imagine. Police have not identified or arrested the suspected shooter and said the investigation remains ongoing. Channel 2 reached out to Lil Deco through social media. He confirmed he's recovering, but declined to comment further or speak on camera. Yeah, man. I don't know what to tell you. I would not be out there. I don't care how, famous or whatever I might be. I would never be walking around like with that amount of money on my neck and not have some type of like entourage around me. You think so? I mean, it's a possibility. I wouldn't rule it out. But at the same time, either way, it's just, I don't know. It sounds like he wasn't well guarded. And when you're wearing that much money on your body, yeah, you should have at the very least one person with you, some type of backup. Yeah, you ever seen the episodes of Boondocks? Where the one rapper kept getting shot, and then come to find out that one of the guys that was trying to like shoot him or end him was like a former lover, and it was like, ugh, jeez, yo. Oh, it's a funny watch, but yeah, man, like I just don't be wearing so much money on yourself. Like if you're not gonna have backup, that's all. Like be smart. Don't. I mean, oh yeah, man. See, and I'm glad you're saying this, because a lot of people idolize and glamorize and romanticize that man, and a lot of other rappers and artists from his time. And I've seen like videos and documentaries on the guy, and I'm like, first of all, he's like a prime example of what controlled opposition is, controlled opposition. And people who want to like stay blind and they want to remember him as the media portrayed him to be, or as the culture portrayed him to be, are the first ones to dismiss any amount of evidence or proof you present to them and you show them. You know, you show them the what do you call it? Like the pathway, or like the whole sequence of like how he infiltrated the culture, right? And after he infiltrated the culture and he got in, and he was like rapping about like positive stuff and positive topics or whatever, where people like could relate to him. Oh yeah, he's good vibes. Like he talks about like true stories that happen like in the hood and in the ghetto and in the PJs. And after he wins them over by rapping about that type of content and those types of songs, and then he gets like quote unquote persecuted, right? That's when he like starts doing like the whole thug image, and then everybody gets on the bandwagon with the whole thug image because it's rebellious and like like f the police and f this and that. And but people get so blinded by the first image of him and all these other artists of how they first present themselves to be, that they kind of like they hold a hand over their eyes and blind themselves to like see the aftermath and like see just how controlled opposition works, and he was a big catalyst of like causing a lot of crumbling of the community and society at the time, and people don't want to admit to it. And people are going to always bring up all the positive stuff that he did or the positive stuff that he sang about. And what about that one song, about the girl and the baby and the this and that, and and they'll completely turn a blind eye to like everything else that he did afterwards, where it's like just gun violence and I did this to your girlfriend or wife, and you know what I mean. Like people are very weird that way. The people who like are fans of that type of artist, and again they turn a blind eye to all the negative and just choose to look at just only the positive which was very little, by the way. He did way more music glorifying the thug life and the thug image versus everything else. Oh yeah. Exactly. All that stuff. And I don't know, man. I will always be the only one in the room that will be like, Tupac was not that great. Nor was Biggie. They were pushed at the forefront at that time, and they were pioneers of a different type of style of way of doing it at the time. They were like, like the new wave, right, of their era. But going like above and beyond that and saying they were like great and they were like the greatest of all time, no, man. Like really, really compare like the songs that they had put out and really truly compare them with like other artists that had came out around the same time. Who, I don't know, man. People want to be fooled. People like to be fooled. So, there's a scientific experiment. I have to look it up and put it on here at some point. But there was a group experiment where, they would take a small group, and put them all like in one room and just kind of like let them be, and then they would put in more people from like a different group, which was like bigger, and that bigger group would start doing like a different activity than the first one. And eventually, throughout the time of the groups being like nearby, like together, the smaller group tended to kind of like gravitate towards a bigger group and follow along and kind of like join in on the activities that they were doing, and so on and so forth, you know? And that's the way it is in the real world. Like when you force bigger crowds of influence and bigger crowds that are saying like, hey, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread, right? But that bigger group is paid to say that, and then you have the smaller group like just tag along because like, well, most of the people are like, doing it anyway, so like why not, and it's a social thing. people are sheep and they should be. But you know what's crazy, bro? You know what's crazy is I know there's also a study somewhere where it talks about people who are like inherently like quote unquote bad at school or bad at academics or are easily bored with academics and school and this and that, tend to be better leaders because they think against the grain and they tend to like think outside the box and be more independent and creative and have like a more unique sense of like thinking. And it's funny because like I truly was never like good at school. Like I was always like bored or just didn't like the whole like homework thing, and it was all like forced, and it was never, I mean, no one really enjoys like the homework part of school, but even just like the regular like classes, like it would take a lot for me to like find any topic or any class like genuinely interesting and me be engaged in the lesson or whatever. It was a rare thing. And I've always said that people who are good at school and academics, they're just good regurgitators, and that's about it. They're great at like grabbing, like their brains are great at receiving the information and being able to like duplicate it, which is great. I mean, don't get me wrong, technically I wish I had that ability, or would have liked to have that ability back when I was in school, but that's kind of like all it is. It's like it's like a division of kids who are able to record the information a lot easier, faster, and a lot longer, and are able to duplicate it and just kind of like repeat after me, versus people who are just like better at critical thinking or asking certain questions, or kind of like questioning the science or questioning the math, that was me. I mean, I would, more than half the time, I would like ask a lot more questions than regurgitate. But anyways, I got like way off topic there, but y'all know what I'm trying to say, basically. Yeah, and see, when I really wanted to, I would like force myself to like remember, like just for tests, and that's it. Just like you, like it was just kind of like solely for the test, and even then, I would like have a hard time. It would take a lot more effort for me to memorize for the test, right? Which is all I would try to do sometimes, versus like truly learning the actual concept or like the actual math behind it, right? But it is what it is. What's the other article that I have here? This should be interesting. Okay. All So Clips become first rappers to perform at the Vatican during Grace for the World concert. Pusha T and No Malice joined John Legend at the very first concert in St. Peter's Square. This is back in September of last year, but for whatever reason, it's like supposedly new news. History was made at the Vatican this weekend when Clips took the stage at St. Peter's Square, becoming the first rap act ever to perform at the holy site. Pusha T and No Malice, dressed in sharp suits, were joined by John Legend for a live rendition of their reflective track, The Birds Don't Sing, off Let God Sort Them Out. The performance was part of the Grace for the World concert held on September 13th, a global event co-directed by Pharrell Williams and staged as a message of unity and peace. It was the first concert ever held at that location. The concert itself was part of the World Meeting on Human Fraternity. Okay. Oh, Lord. The star-studded lineup also included Jennifer Hudson, Bam Bam, Jelly Roll, Karol G, Teddy Swims, John Legend, and Maestro Andrea Bocelli. Fans both in attendance and around the world witnessed not only music performances, but also an aerial drone and light show by Nova Sky Stories, which projected imagery inspired by Sistine Chapel over Vatican City. I wonder if we could find that clip or video where this happened, because I would like to see what type of imagery was being projected with the drones. You know what I mean? This is a rare cultural moment where the world stops and collectively tunes in. Bocelli echoed the sentiment, let us shine a spotlight on humanity with music from the very heart of Christianity in the most important spiritual square. This is where they get people, when they vocalize that it's like Christianity, and it's not. But whatever. Reaching the entire world with a single message of brotherhood and peace. The free concert was live streamed worldwide on ABC. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Yeah. Bull crap. Straight up bull crap. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much is what happened. But they'll never talk about that part. You know. They'll never mention that part. Little Diddy. Oh, yes. My bad, yo. Wonder. Okay. The red shoes they wear is a sign too. Red shoes? What? What do you mean red shoes? Oh, you're talking about the Pope people or whatever? The people from the Vatican? Isn't like the whole like red shoe thing, because the same thing happened in like the Wizard of Oz, right? Where Dorothy with the red slippers, it has like some type of like Masonic meaning, right? I forget what it is, but I know there's some type of like occult or Masonic meaning behind it. It's been such a long time since I've read into that, but there's some type of connection there. But yeah, no, like I would love to see like some type of like footage from like that performance, just because I want to know what imagery the drones were displaying in that concert. Because you know, like I think it was U2 or one of those groups where a call for an uprising had done like a slowing down of the frames of that concert and the visuals that they had on like the big screen, and he pulled like a bunch of like demonic and satanic like words and phrases that were like subliminally being like pushed out through like the in between regular words. So I want to see if something like that happened in this concert. I might be ending this like a lot sooner than what I thought I was gonna be here for, because I'm really like having a hard time talking, and I don't know if that's doing good on my vocal cords or not. I don't know if it's helping or hurting it. So I might be out like 9 minutes. So I guess I'll just share this last news article and I call it a night. The Christian rapper who thinks you're loving the wrong neighbor. Oh my God. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna just get to the part where he talks about the neighbor thing. This is a long article. I'm not reading all this. I guess this is the part right here. No, it's way too in depth here. I guess we could read this part. He says, I think both sides are loving their preferred neighbor, to be honest. If you're in the demo party, you don't see addicts or whoever as your enemy. I think sometimes people who vote demo think that love your enemy means love the marginalized. And I'm like, no, you already see the marginalized as your neighbors. So that's not what that means. It's very obvious who your enemy is. Maybe for demos and definitely for two black guys like you and me, our enemies are people riding around with the stars and bars, right? Yeah, who do you hate? That's what Jesus basically asked. I feel like the titles of demo and repus are so broad, but whatever. If you're a demo, it's Ted Cruz on your love thy neighbor, love thy enemy hat. It's not saying love the homeless man. You're already good at that. Practically speaking, what does it mean for me to love that dude who's repping the rebel flag? I'm thinking about your single parabolic, where you got the great cover of you sitting on the back of a pickup truck, and then the Confederate flag is underneath the wheel. So what does it actually mean to love someone who has clothed themselves in that flag? It's tough. I think that's where I lived most of my life. For me, a good portion of loving the person you just described has been open disagreement without dehumanization, which is always what Jesus did. Loving your enemy is not baptizing everything they believe and refusing to challenge them. People know me as a person who will have these conversations with somebody that I completely disagree with. I'm not going to yell and stop being your friend. I've had people who really resonate with my anti-violence, anti-police brutality, race relations, all that stuff. But then when they see some of the people that I'm friends with who are very conservative, they've been like, how can you be friends with this person? My viewpoint is, how could I not be friends with them? Just look at Jesus. He's got a zealot, he's got a tax collector. To answer your question about what it looks like, it's messy, but I think it's looks like Jesus' ministry. I think it just looks like long suffering. I like that translation. We should keep that word, long suffering. I've seen the fruit of these conversations. If our hope is to create a society where the marginalized flourish, that's going to require that we have disagreements with people who have created those conditions of marginalization, and then we need to invite them to see things differently. What you just described sounds exactly like Jesus' ministry. Everybody he was around had to repent, had to change their minds. Jesus had hard conversations where people got offended, but he didn't leave them. Oh man, my bad. I just seen Fong roll here. What up, Tim? God bless you. God bless you, Tim. Thanks for being here. I'm almost closing out though. I'm gonna be here for like another 5 minutes or so, and I'll call it a night. But I do appreciate you popping in and stopping by. Like I was saying earlier, any amount of viewership or support after me being gone for so long means a lot to me. So I appreciate it. But yeah, no, I will say this, like, yeah, loving thy neighbor truly is goes beyond who you agree with. You know, loving thy neighbor should be and would be an equivalent to, you know, loving thy enemy. And there is still scripture that supports that as well. So, and then I know there's another verse that talks about, you know, what sacrifice is there when you love people that you're friends with and that you're cool with? Like, what's really challenging you when you love those people, if you already agree with them, you know? But so, you know, like, loving your enemy doesn't mean to agree with your enemy. It doesn't mean to, you know, support what they do. It doesn't mean any of that. It just means, like, pray for them, pray over them, you know, present the gospel to them in a very loving, caring manner. You know, because at some point of our lives, whether if we were born in the gospel or not, if we were born in a Christian household or not, at some point in our lives, we will come across some season of, you know, having to turn from our own ways, right? And turn to God and repent and correct our path, right? And align our walk with God, right? So we got to take that into consideration and know that at some point, you know, we've all been wrong. And we got to have mercy on each other, and we have to try to understand each other. And the same way God forgives us and has mercy on us every day, you know, we also have to try to do the same for our fellow neighbor. Exactly. Yeah. That's the verse I was thinking of. I appreciate you pulling that up. Exactly. For even sinners love those who love them. Yep. So there's no challenge if you just love someone who loves you, right? Friend. So that's where the blessing is when you love someone who hates you, or someone who is against everything you believe and stand for, right? When you love that person, and you love, well, by love I mean, like, you know, pray for them, pray over them, try to have a healthy dialogue with them, you know, not trying to convert nobody, but basically being God's love in their life, right? But yeah, I appreciate Tim for finding that. You know, it helps get the point across. But anyways, you know what? I'll stay like 10 more minutes. But anyways, Tim, if you're still here, right, correct. That's correct. That twist. Don't ever hate the sinner. Hate the sin. That's how God looks at it. He does not hate anyone. He does hate the evil and sin that abides in them. So that's 1,000% correct. Tim, since you're here, I don't know if you want to, like, type up some of the info of your upcoming documentary, or if you want to get on and say a few words. Either way is fine. No rush. Like, if you do get on, I don't mind you staying on for however long you need to. But if you want to type some info, you could head and do that too. However you want to do it, you know, just let me know, and I'll send you the invite link and have you on. But if you just want to type it in, like when it's coming out, or any additional info that we should know about the upcoming documentary, I shared it on our last live stream, I think yesterday, and I was saying that whenever it comes out, we're gonna do like a watch party. yeah, I would love to pick your brain about it, and I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory and pretty straightforward, but sometimes, you know, with these documentaries, there's a lot more information that is going to be touched on. So, Dead World, trying to drop the full video into 2 weeks. Okay, that's a fair time frame to work with. Oh, I appreciate you saying that. Because, you know, some people are really, you know, iffy. I was like, oh, I don't know, because it might drop my view count, which is true. But at the same time, like when you got more people sharing your content, it's kind of like what I said last stream. You have way more subscribers than I do, so necessarily it's not that I would be helping a whole lot, but technically at the same time, sometimes, like, you know, I might be able to reach other people that you might not, and vice versa. So it could go both ways, and what's the harm in trying, right? So I'm hoping to do like a watch party whenever it comes out, and yeah. Well, that's when you know you're doing stuff right. That's amazing to hear or to read, and I appreciate those words. And that's what it should be about, man. It's like I tell people, like I understand that, yes, when you get shadow banned, you get cut off from reaching new people potentially, and that's true. But at the end of the day, like the people who have to be there, like as subscribers, as viewers, as returning viewers, they'll be there regardless. And God will bring the people that need to be watching these videos, and people that watch these videos, if God touches them and is, you know, able to reach them through these videos, these documentaries, right, they will not be able to contain themselves, and they will naturally like share and push the video forward to other people. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a inevitable chain of events. So like whether we're shadow banned or not, whether we are accepted and propelled by the algorithm or not, like at the end of the day, as long as we're like praying over our projects and praying over our content and asking God to make sure that it reaches who it needs to reach, it will do that. And the people who need to be reached by these videos and documentaries will be reached, and therefore it'll be a domino effect where they won't be able to hold it, and they'll just be like, this is too good, I have to share it forward. You know what I mean? It's kind of like way back when I that's pretty cool, because I like that. I don't think I'm shadow banned, because I've never even been in the YouTube partnership program with this channel, so I don't know yet. Let me get there first and see what happens and then I'll tell you, but I haven't gotten to that point yet. But I'm sure at some point, eventually, if and when I do reach that point, I'm sure eventually I will get shadow banned, because let's be honest, you're not really able to say a whole lot in here. So, but yeah, like I remember when I started watching A Call for an Uprising years ago, maybe 2015 or 2016. I remember when my cousin and me came across his videos, we would like share it forward with like our family members, would share it forward with like our friends, because it was just, you couldn't contain it. You know, nowadays it's kind of like, it depends which topic it is. I might share some of it forward. I might share some of it on my social media, but I tend to be more picky nowadays with what I share, just because, you know, sometimes you just don't want to be too annoying, you know. but yeah, it'll always reach the people that it needs to reach. That's all I was trying to say. But yeah, anyways, I think I'm gonna call it a night. For those of you who are here, for all this nonsense, I appreciate it. I'm just trying to get the watch hours up at this point. I'm not, you know, I'm obviously I'm sharing some type of like content or whatever, but it's just to get the hours up, and I've got a long way to go. So yeah, if you guys could at some point just watch like the shorter videos and just leave them playing in the background while you're cleaning or whatever it is, just to help the public watch hours, that'll be great. Otherwise, I might have to like go a different route to try to get things popping in this channel again. Yeah, and it goes both ways. Like, you know, your channel. Okay, let me say it like this: your channel is, for me, on par with like channels like Industry Exposed, right? I think it's like The Industry Exposed or the Hip Hop Industry Exposed. Like your channel, I kind of like put it up there with that type of channel, where it's like really interesting information, and I feel free to like share it forward with anybody, because it's topics that are like, they're broad. They're broad enough that I can share with anybody, because it's topics that it's not niche all the way through, and everybody could partake in a healthy discussion about these topics that you share. And it's easy. It's easily digestible topics that you bring up in your documentaries and in your videos. So it's just easier to share your stuff, because I feel like more people would be interested in the topics that you bring up, versus sometimes I get like too hyper specific about certain things, and you know, comes off as like conspiracy, and you know, people roll their eyes at conspiracy theories, and it's just harder to get some of those conversations out there. But yeah, for me, you're on par with channels like Industry Exposed and stuff like that. Appreciate that, man. God bless you too. God bless you too and your family. I know you have a lot on your plate, all those kids, all those blessings, your wife, your actual job that you do outside of YouTube, and then of course all the editing that you do for the videos. So you know, you have a lot on your plate, so I respect you for that, and I commend you for it, right? And God bless you and your family always, always, always. And yeah, I can't wait to see how the documentary and the videos come out, and can't wait to host a watch party and hopefully bring a lot of more people. Usually I connect all my social medias when I do these streams, like Facebook and everything, but I pick and choose when I do that. So today, not so many, just Twitch, YouTube, and Instagram. But on the day of that you release your documentary, I'm gonna have all of them like connected. That way, all my different peoples on different platforms can like get access to your documentary. So anyways, I talk too much, and I talk too much with a sore throat, so that's not good. I'm gonna shut up now. I'm gonna let y'all go. God bless every single one of you guys. Thanks for being here. I'm sorry that my voice sucks tonight, and that I'm like pushing through. but I appreciate the love and support, yo. And I will catch you guys more than likely tomorrow after church. I'm hoping to make it to tomorrow's service, because I'm hoping that I'll be better by then. So, you know, God willing. But either way, after the service hours, I will try to get back on here and have another chill stream with you guys, and hopefully bring up actual more in-depth and deep topics that I prefer to talk about. So we'll see what happens. But God bless, good night, and until next time, JDQ out, and peace.